Hello peeps, so this is a custom 4TB build. I wanted to showcase for a couple of reasons. The guys asked for only certain systems on. He doesn't want old computers. He's a 90s kid. He wants, like from Nintendo upwards, NES upwards, that sort of era. He don't want the old ZX Spectrum and Amiga and all that sort of stuff on. So that's the one thing, just to show her, I can build any drive to order, whatever you want, whatever you don't want. Just ask away, just email me, I'll link the email address in the video description. And also the next thing is, the customer he's originally from the States, but he's living in New Zealand at the minute, so this drive's going to New Zealand. And also I've done one for Spain and California, so it's I can do worldwide shipping on. So as an estimate price, I think pretty much anywhere in Europe, I've priced up Spain and Italy were both £17, and to the States it was I believe it were just under £30, or about £27 I think to America and also to New Zealand. So anyway, I will show you what is on the drive. That's just the screen saver running. So if you look above the video, again to the top right, there's 15,905 games on it in total. And I'll just go through without talking and just go down to show you what's on there, so you can see the numbers and what systems are on there. Excuse me. Whoops, I was meant to hide. Naughty, naughty. Bear with me one sec. I'm not showing that off as a system that I do. It's just repopulating the games list now because I've just changed something. So yeah, I'll go through and tell you sort of what else I've added on and my reasoning for it. I added that on. I mean, basically it was an absolute crap system that failed, but you know, all the games are there what were out for it. There's the odd game that's playable on it. Pang, I used to love that on all consoles. That was popular, Panzer Kickboxing. But yeah, it's there. It's a 90s console. Obviously, I've left the 2 arcade systems on, which I told him, and he wanted anyway. So again, with MAME and Final Burn Neo, you get a lot of games repeated in each system. Some games work better on one, some games work better on the other, blah blah blah. There's more games on MAME, so they are 2 actually different systems, but there is a lot of repeat games that are in MAME, they're in Final Burn Neo. Obviously, there's no repeat games in MAME. There's no 2 games that are the same, but a lot of these games will be in Final Burn Neo. Tower Links, Jaguar. These are all on my old thing. So I took the Amiga off, but I left the Amiga CD32 on because that was a games, with a console. It had a lot of decent games on. So it's not like it's an old computer system. So I thought there might be some odd games in there that you play. ScumVM I left on. I didn't know whether you were into these sort of point and click adventure games, but it's a great little system. And also every game works in here as well, like most of the systems on here. I've been through, there were odd games where you have to change the emulator, and I've been and redone it now and saved it all to the system, so any game that's in here will work. There's some kid games there, stuff like that. I personally used to love these games. They were really bloody difficult, but I used to really like them. Xbox, all I've done with Xbox is added a couple of games that I wanted, which was the Blinks games, which Blinks 1 doesn't work and Blinks 2's got graphical issues, so hopefully an update will sort them out. All these again are all the same on my old system. DS from my 2TB system has got only about 30 games. This is my full collection, which is just shy of 450. All scraped as much as you can. Some I've got the videos, Wii U, that isn't on the 2TB build. 110 games. Me. 3DO isn't on the 2TB build. Again, it was another sort of mid 90s console, sort of early to mid 90s. Again, it was a great system, but there's some decent games on there. Thomas Wave Arcade, and obviously the Sega's. Yeah. Sega Model 2, which is the arcade games. Some decent little arcade games there, that's brilliant, that Zero Gunner. Sega Saturn, another Model 3 arcade games, only 13 games in there. The Dreamcast and thing. Now the PlayStation 1 is the full unclipped games, which is a lot bigger file system than on the 2TB. These have got all the music and they're totally unclipped. They're the full versions of every single game in there. And also PlayStation 2. On my 2TB, there's 450 games. I'll go back on PlayStation 2 and just scroll down a lot of the games in a minute. Yeah, on the 2TB, there's 450. On this, there's 1073. PlayStation Portable same as on the 2TB. So I'll just have a scroll down while I'm having a couple of sip of my tea and do a little bit of a showcase of the games. I'll go quite quick because otherwise it takes bloody ages. One thing I will talk about while I'm just doing this, I've seen a video of a guy who built a it might have been a Dell Optiplex, I can't remember now. Yeah, it was a Dell Optiplex. And he put a T600, an Nvidia T600 graphics card in it. And it run everything really well. Really good card for emulation. He was running it through Retrobat on a PC. So I brought it for Batocera. I bought one of the cards. I got it £150 off eBay. And it runs like a bag of nails. It barely runs PlayStation at standard. PlayStation 2 at standard resolution. None of the consoles at all go on, so it must be it's totally like not configured right for Batocera. It really runs terrible. I was gutted with it, to be fair. So because this Dell Optiplex 3040, my idea was to put that in, to put weight on it, stick a 4TB build in it, and that's like £300 for it. You know, the graphics card's £150. But I think I'm going to have to change that now. And I think what I'm going to have to do, because I've had a look into Retrobat, and I know it's easy to do, and everything's there basically. It'll not take me long to do it. So I believe I'm going to have to put a SSD card in this, stick Windows on it, and put it into a Retrobat build instead of a Batocera build, which I'm a bit teed off about really. But one of them, the T600, if you didn't know, it's a tiny little card that fits in these small form factor PCs. Brilliant. These Dell Optiplex and that. But if you are looking at buying one to use a Batocera, at the minute, obviously it might become figured right on the next version, the version 36. It's something that I might download the beta version of Batocera just to see if they've fixed it. It's obviously something to do with the drivers, but I will show you now what I mean. So let's just like I say, just a bit of a tip for anybody who's wanting to buy one. It might be brilliant on Retrobat, but it's really poor on this, and it's weird as well. So I'll show you what I mean. So I've got a War 2, I've got a save state made for this, so let's go into the advanced game options. Render and resolution, we'll put it on native. And I believe that, I can't remember now 100%, but I think it's an i5-6100 chip in the 3040. I'm not 100%, I have that many different Dell Optiplexes. So decorations, we'll put on performance to show you what I mean, which is it's just weird. A lot of the, like GameCube, I've tried to run Gun, which is a really good game to test out what your graphics card's capable of on Nintendo GameCube, and it'll run it at native, but anything over native it just will not run. So there's something not right with it. I've used a GT1030, which is a lot less a card than this, and it performs a lot better. So save state, let's load it up. You look in bottom corner, that's on native, and it's dropping down to 47 frames per second. Right, that's on native. So it's between 47 and, I don't know, 55, 56 frames per second I'll go to. So right, let's quit out of it. Advanced game options. Change that, and it works on both the cores as well. It works on the same on the Vulkan and on OpenGL, so it's made no difference. I've tried them both. Let's put it on 1080p. And when I was testing it, the frames, no matter the frame rate, no matter which resolution I put it on, just stopped exactly the same. So now, look, that's 1080p, and it's running exactly the same. The frames are dropping down to 46, 47, and going up to 50 odd frames per second. So no matter what I do with it, so it's obviously something with the graphics I have of the T600. So if people are going to buy it to run on Batocera, just be wary, unless the new update will sort it out. So let me just put that back to what it was. So I'll just go on auto. up display. So again, we'll have a look. Yeah, really disappointing. I wounded to say it too, because I thought, you know, I was really looking forward to see how far I could push it. And obviously, when I sell a PC, I can set the graphics up on it, so I can sort of push it to where I think I don't want to go any further and leave them on that setting. Obviously, if I sell a hard drive, one person might buy a hard drive who's got just using onboard graphics. The next one might have a bloody RTX 4090 or whatever in his computer. It might have an absolute massive gaming rig. I can't allow for that. It's impossible to set up. I would set it up to all the best settings, and I sent it to somebody with an onboard graphics. They're going to say the drive's crap, nothing runs right. So you know it's really, that shouldn't be. I've changed them, but I missed that one there. Freaky flies. It shouldn't be there. Right. So let me just check something. New customization, show me the files. In fact, I'm just going to do that while I'm here. So, what I do with these is I put them on the Berto Dolphin, put them onto 16 binary, because I've shown it in a different video. You can change the discs a bit easier in the Liberto Dolphin. I'm not 100% whether you can do it all in the just the Dolphin, the set one. So showing the files now. Right, okay, sorry. That one. Right, disc 2. Edit games metadata hidden. Right. So yeah, I hide the disc 2, and then I'll just quickly show you again. Freaky flies now. It's only got one disc there, so click it. Now if you press your Xbox button and your A button, your green button when it loads, you go into the RetroArch menu basically. So you can come down here, go to disk control, you can eject disk 1, load new disk, and there's disk 2. You can make a .m3u file and put it in there, but it's no different clicking on that. Insert disk, and there you go. This tray is open, and it'll probably say please insert this one. So that's disk 2 in there. So again, Xbox One green, load new disk, disk 1, and there you go. That's how you change your disk. If you ever get to a safe stage where you need to change your disk, that's what you do. So we'll use this game as a test. It's not got bad graphics to it. Right, so advanced game options. This is on the GameCube, which should on this card absolutely fly at 1080p. Should easily run it at 1080p. Performance. Excuse me. You can't change the. It's on the Berto Dolphin, that's why. Right. So just for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put it on Dolphin because I can change the resolution. You can on the Liberto, but you have to go into the menu. Decorations, is that so long? Yeah. Okay. So this is 1920 by 1080p, which should, on this graphics card, absolutely run perfectly. It should never dip from 60 frames per second. But yeah, I've been wanting to build a retrobat system anyway. It's pretty much exactly the same as Batocera, but obviously for Windows, and that'll probably appeal to a fair few more people. Batocera has its advantages, whereas so does Windows. You know, there's some systems that run better on Batocera, like MAME and stuff. Pardon me, MAME and stuff's supposed to run better on Batocera, and then obviously Windows, you've got your PlayStations and stuff will run better. DirectX and stuff is obviously helps out a lot of systems. So yeah, I wish I'd done a save scene for this, but I've never really played this. It's one game that I didn't have back in the day. I had a lot of games on the GameCube, but this is one that I never bothered with. every time I make a video, somebody texts me. Follow me. That's on silent. See, that seems to be running at 60 frames a second. A little bit of a drop there, but pressing the wrong button. Right, that's to go, is it? Yeah. It's a decent little game, this, to be fair. Yeah, it's not dripping. That's fully playable at 1920 by 1080. So I just want to make sure I put the settings back, so I always forget, and send some drives out with the settings. Thingy. So we'll go back to Liberto Dolphin, and that's that. Decorations, auto. So, but just to prove a point, and I know I've got the same game on this one, Gun, which is a really good game for some reason. Yeah, I've already got my decorations on, that way handy. So let's try the save state. No, I didn't save it to the actual game. So I'll do that now. This is set, judging by them graphics, this is set on the native resolution. So it looks a bit crap. So yeah, 60 frames per second. That's native resolution, 100%. So we'll put a save state there, come out of the game. Anybody wanting to know save state, Xbox button and blue saves, Xbox button and yellow loads. Advanced game options. Again, this is a lot more demanding game. This is one, if you want to test your graphics out on GameCube, I always suggest this one to try it. This card, and I'll keep repeating myself, but this card should absolutely smash this game at 1920 by 1080. Save state. I'll look at that. It's not even going over 20 frames per second. And the video I watched, the guy was running PlayStation 2 at 4K. It wasn't running, it was probably running them similar to that at 4K. So then he dropped it down to 1440p, and he was probably about doubled it, probably up to 30 or 40 frames per second. Then he put it on 1920 by 1080, and no games was dropping below 60 frames per second. This one just seems to be all over the place. But as you've seen with God of War 2, it's like, it's not that it can't handle it, there's something wrong, there's something not right there. For it to be exactly the same frames per second on the lowest resolution to the highest, to 1920 by 1080p, there's something not right with it. So hopefully when I build a retroback system, which I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to because I'm fairly busy at the minute with drives and stuff, that will be solved, and it's something that I can get on Etsy or whatever marketplace and get it sold. So it should be a really good little system, the Dell Optiplex 3040 R5 6100. That card, and I'm going to stick like say a 4 terabyte drive of it with Wii on as well. So I'll give a Wii Dolphin bar with it, and a remote and nunchuck, and an official Nintendo one. And like I say, it'll be a brilliant little system, and it's fairly small, similar size to an Xbox, so it can drop under a TV or whatever. Anyway, that was it. It was basically just a more of a showcase of the drive, show you what I can do, and also I can ship worldwide. If anybody's interested, email me with the email and the link. Cheers for now.